Hi friends, it's Shayla here and welcome back to another 25 days of manga video. Today's video is going to be my top 5 seinen of 2020. These aren't ones that necessarily released in 2020, but they are ones that I started for the first time in 2020. So I have 5 here. I adore each and every one of them. There's not going to be like a favorite chosen out of these. I feel equally the same about all of them, meaning I love them. So let's go ahead and dive in. So first up, we have Nicola traveling around the demon's world. This is a really cute slice of life story about a young girl who ends up in the demon's world, the demon realm, and she's human. And it's about this devil named Seinen who kind of escorts her around while she starts to learn more about her mother. I love this series so much. The art style is really sweet. It's actually done in a really sketch style, and it's actually done with a brown ink instead of a black ink, which gives it that softer, almost more fairy tale kind of quality to it. And I just adore this one. I really have a good time each time I pick up a volume. It's sweet, it's fun, it's touching. I've cried multiple times in this series. It's one that just touches you in the perfect way. So I definitely recommend picking up Nicola traveling around the demon's world. Next we have one of the biggest surprises for me. I picked this up in 2020 and I'm so glad I did. And that is Kaiju Girl Caramelize or Caramelize. I'm not 100% sure how you say that. In this one, we're following a young girl who is half kaiju. And it's really interesting because her kaiju powers are pretty reined in until she starts to get a crush on a boy at school, and this boy starts to spend a little more time with her, and it makes her kaiju go crazy. So all of a sudden, she's thinking a lot about it, and she goes full, like, Godzilla out in the world, and he's the only one who can kind of calm her powers. But he finds her kaiju side really sweet and really cute. And so it's their romance. It's quirky, it's fun. And I never thought I would like monster girls, but I absolutely adore, what's her name? Kuro, I think is her name. Yes, Kuro is her name. But she is so adorable, so likable, so lovable. I can't get enough of her. She is seriously so sweet. And the boy, I believe his name's Arata? Yes. He is just a precious little being and is the perfect little complement to her. And they look cute on page. And like the art style in this is absolutely adorable. Like just all of it is so cute. I love it so much. So anyways, yes, this one, a couple of these have really weird concepts, and it's just a thing for me. But I absolutely adore this. Please pick this up. Next, we have one that might surprise some people is actually on my list, and that is My Senpai is Annoying. This is a great office rom-com between a senpai and his kohei, and it's kind of partially colored throughout it. And so we have Futaba. She's like early to mid 20s. And then Takeda senpai is, I believe, in his 30s. But they have a really good working relationship, and they both kind of, she has more visible feelings than he does, but, you know, he pays special attention to her and things, and they have a really great rapport, and it's really fun to watch it kind of blossom into this romance. It's definitely on the comedy side. It is for coma style, so it's definitely just a lot of fun. And this one really surprised me. It came out of left field at me this year, and I have no regrets. Like, it's so good. And I don't really hear anybody else talking about this one besides me, so I would love for more people to pick this one up. Next up, we have one that I have not shut up about all year since I read the first volume, and that is Sweat and Soap. Sweat and Soap is another office romance. In this, we're following a woman named Asako, and Asako has lived her life very self-conscious of her body odor and her sweat. She feels like she sweats a lot and all those kinds of things. She's found a particular company that seems to mask her odor best, and so she ends up working for this company. One day she's looking at a display very happily, and one of the guys from the product development department, this guy here, he catches a whiff of her when she's happy, and he comes up and he starts talking to her, and he realizes that the smell is her, not something he just passed. And so he asks her, "Can I come and smell you every day?" And she's like, okay. And from there, they develop a friendship. It blossoms into a romantic relationship. And this is one of the purest adult romances I've read in manga in a long time. Like, it gets down and smutty. Don't get me wrong here. This is a smutty manga. But, like, their interactions together, it is such a healthy relationship. Yes, he has a little bit of a smelling fetish. But it's not like... it doesn't overtake their actual, like, romantic relationship. And this one, I believe, will be 5 volumes deep by December. But I've read all 4 that have come out. I have no regrets. I talk about this series nonstop. I love it so much. And the art style in this one is great. You know, right there, that first panel. For the sake of the company, I'm going to come and smell you every day. And I just love them. I love them so much. I can't get enough of these two, and they're dynamic, and I love each and every volume more. And I feel like this series continues to get better rather than like stagnating and like leveling out. It continues to get better, and I love it so much. So I could sit here and just say I love it so much for like the next hour, but I'm not going to bore you. So please go pick up Sweat and Soap. And then last but not least, this one's kind of a stretch because it doesn't really have like a demographic. So I'm putting it here because it makes the most sense from what I know of the demographics. And that is Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind by Hayao Miyazaki. Yes, the manga came before the movie, and the manga is very different from the movie. There are elements that are the same, but they have a very different context within the manga. Sorry, this is really heavy. I'm not going to keep holding it. But Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind is an experience, and I highly recommend everybody check it out. That box set that I was holding up was a gift to myself after I got my first check from YouTube this year, and I proceeded to read it, and I thoroughly loved and enjoyed it. So please, 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 more people need to read Nausicaa. I read this because of Laura over at Manga Hoarder. I miss her videos so much. Whenever she decides to come back, will be a happy day for me. But I absolutely adored, she was kind of like reading it, and I believe it was the month of April. And I ended up joining her, and I read the entire series that month, and I loved it so very much. It is so deep, it is so political, and it has so many good themes throughout the entirety of the series. It's just one of those that's really underrated in like the online manga community. So definitely, yes, the movie's great, but I do think the manga is better. So please, please, please give Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind manga a chance. So those are my 5 favorite seinen this year. I did do the same series last year, so if one of your favorites wasn't on this list that you know that I read, it may be in that one, so I will leave that linked for you. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I love each and every one of you, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.